Hey there folks, and welcome back. I'm Chris from iLeather.com, and today we're going to do a shaving video for you as always. Today we're going to use, I don't know how well you can see that, it's probably difficult to see. This is LPL Lucien 2016 limited edition. This was given to me, maybe you can see it better over there. This was given to me, so I don't really know a lot about the soap other than the fact is I think this was the first tallow soap that LPL put out. On the scent, smells pretty nice. I can't really describe the scent. I think I get a little rose in there, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's not super heavy rose, and there's some other stuff going on as well. Today we're also going to be using the Simpson Classic 1, which I'm going to call Baby Busta. This thing is ridiculously small. It's about as long as my index finger, but we'll see how it goes. We've dipped it in the water. Now let's load our LPL and see what we can get going today. I have had one of these Classic 1 brushes before. I didn't really care for it, but a fellow sent me some stuff to give away, and I figured I'd try to use this again just to see if my opinion has changed. I'm actually going to give this one to Busta because I do call it the Baby Busta. And let's load this soap pretty heavy to make sure I give this brush a chance. Before it just seemed too small to me, and the synthetic fiber was just, I don't care for it, or I didn't. But we're going to try to use it again today and see how we do with it. I'm kind of throwing the foam off of this LPL because a lot of these soaps start out foamy and you have to keep loading to get to the good stuff. This is what, that foamy stuff is what James calls proto-lather, of course, and we have to get beyond the proto-lather to get to the creamy goodness, as James calls it. Okay, I think we've got a decent load on now. I definitely think I smell rose in here. I could be wrong. I'm smelling a little bit now. My cold is, I think, on the way out. At least I'm crossing my fingers. Okay, let's wet the face so we can get going. Stay tuned. And all right, let's see how we do today with our Baby Busta Simpson Classic. That's terrible. What the hell? Sorry for the language there. It doesn't splay well, and that has been the problem with Simpson's synthetics. You really have to put a lot of pressure down for it to splay, and it's not very big, the brush either. So the lather is coming out the bottom there, you see that? When you do press enough to get it to splay, then the lather goes down to the bottom. To heck with that. I'll break my thoughts out on that brush in a separate video because it requires some attention to talk about it, but I'm not going to waste my time with it. It is an embarrassment from where I stand. Okay, we'll break that out in a separate video. Let's bring in an inexpensive Frank shaving synthetic, and we'll see how we do with it. Well, I got lather on my face. We'll try to get a quick load on here, and this one is, Chinese made, I believe, cheaper. That one there, the Simpson, runs about 55 bucks, and is a waste, in my opinion. Unless you just like it for the handle or make a keychain of it or something. Absolute rubbish and embarrassment. All right. Again, we'll break out a separate video on that because it warrants a video of its own. Okay. Looks like we've got a decent load here with our Frank shaving synthetic, and I need to probably add a little water to this since this lather's been sitting on my face dry. So let me add a little water to this brush here. See if we can improve the situation with our much less expensive brand as a whole, Frank shaving. And this one feels a lot better than that Simpson, a lot better. This fiber is that old Silvertip type fiber, and I gotta tell you, wow, stuff's going all over the place. This feels nice. This feels nice. This was also sent in the box from that gentleman, and it's been a long time since I used a Frank. Look at all that. That Frank shaving brush. I'm getting stuff all over me like Busta today. Been a long time since I've used a Frank shaving brush, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And this one actually feels pretty good. The problem you have sometimes with Frank shaving brushes or FS is I've had some in the past and they come and the knot's crooked or just little, QC issues. And that sort of aggravates me, but this one is actually quite nice. I may actually keep this one because I do like it. All right. Man, I've got lather going all over the place. This could go down as my most Busta-esque lather ever. With lather just from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. All right. Good enough. We're friggin' 7 minutes into the video and we haven't made one shaving stroke in, or 6 minutes. And that is very Busta-esque. I usually don't do that. I usually get right down to business. Okay, we're going to use today the FaTip Grand with a feather blade. Good blade exposure on this razor. I used to think it was somewhat aggressive, but I'd call it, I guess, medium. Now, that's very smooth. Very smooth indeed. No problem at all. These usually cost you, this particular one, about 30 bucks. Made in Italy. And it's been a long time since I've used it, so I figured I would give it a shot. The problem that I've had with FaTip razors in the past is, again, QC. Sometimes the blade wouldn't line up on its own. You'd have to fiddle with it or things like that. But this one, the blade went right in and was proper from the get-go. So, all right, nice little shaver. Nice little shaver. All right, let's rinse the face and come back for pass 2. All right, and on we go here. Pass 2. The fiber on this FS brush actually feels pretty good. At least it does compared to that Simpson. That thing's awful. That'd be terrible. A disgrace. Again, we'll talk about it in a separate video after this. It deserves a video of its own to really run down the problems. And my story with Simpson synthetic started a couple of years ago, and I fell in love with them. I convinced myself that they were really nice because I loved the way they looked, and they were fine until you use something else. And then when you go back to it, you're like, oh gosh. So we'll tell that story in the separate video. Lots of lather here going, that is for sure. You can see I didn't take long to load the FS brush, and plenty of lather, so on that front it certainly makes lather easy. And looks like we're just about where we need to be. Okay, all right, and here we go, pass 2 with our FaTip Grand with feather blade. Quite smooth. The razor doing its job, working with the soap nicely. The soap is nice and slick. Feels like it has plenty cushion, glide, and all the rest. The scent is, it's just okay. It's not my favorite. Is this tallow LPL any better than the vegan? I don't know. It's a decent soap. It's not at the top of my list of soaps, but it is a good soap. Not bad at all. And it certainly has allowed us to get a nice first couple of passes in with the FaTip. Stand by while I rinse the face and we'll come back for pass 3. All right, here we go. Preparing for pass 3. Let's get some of that lather out of there. Get our final lather on. Again, I think I smell some rose in here or something like that. Not a bad scent, not my favorite, but not bad. It's not one that I'm, very displeased with or something like that. Again, it was given to me, so you can't be too critical of stuff you're given, and I'm going to give a lot of this stuff away. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing a lot of giveaways. They will be occurring every single week, as has been the case. And remember, another thing I want to mention, if you want to contact me, the only way is email. Email. No Facebook IM. I do not check them. And if I'm not friends with you, like real friends, they go to other. I do not check those. So email me at chris@ileather.com. Very simple. And I will respond to you when I have time. I can't emphasize that enough because people still Facebook message me and I do not check them. I do not read the comments on the videos. So, email me and I will respond to you. And I'm happy to respond to you. But I can't keep up with all the different platforms, so I narrow my responses down to one, which is email, which is the easiest for me, and I can respond to you in a personal way. Okay, let's get our third and final pass on. There we go. And that feels nice. The soap has performed well. I wouldn't put it in the upper echelon of soaps. Personally, some people do. I just think they're, to me, they're very good. I mean, maybe they're a top 20 caliber soap, but I don't think they're remarkable. Like other people really feel they're, one of the best soaps out there, and I'm sure they are for those folks. But for me, I think for my purposes, Katie's Bubbles or Sterling or anything else works just as well for less money. So that's just me. All right. And we have wrapped up another shave. That was very, very nice. Let's rinse the face and we'll come back for the post. Stay tuned. All right, and in comes the magic made by witches. Thayer's Witch Hazel, my favorite. As you know, we use this day in and day out on this channel, and we love it. Thank you, Thayer's, for such a wonderful product. I've never heard from Thayer's. I'm probably Thayer's #1 fan. I've never heard from Thayer's. And I don't hear from a lot of people that I praise, but it's just, interesting that Thayer's, no one loves it more than me. Okay, let's get on with our gear review before we get to the aftershave. We had the FaTip Grand with feather blade. Nice shaver. Around $35 or so, 30-ish. Not a bad shaver at all. If you get one that has good quality control. This one was very, very nice today. No problems at all. We started out with the Simpson classic one, which I call Baby Busta. We'll do a breakout video on this. It was terrible. In came the Chinese Frank shaving brush, which did a nice job. I'll actually keep that one, I think. And of course, we had the LPL 2016 limited edition. In my opinion, not special. It's not special to me. I didn't get anything out of it that was fabulous or fantastic. It was just, as your average artisan, so far as I'm concerned. Okay, on to an aftershave that was given to me by the inspector, David Ferncola. This is L&L Marshlands. And this one has a really unique scent. It is really... Sometimes when I smell it, it almost smells like barbecue sauce, the way the notes come together. It is vetiver, oak moss, bergamot, and it's got pretty heavy mentholation too. And sometimes when I smell it, the initial scent smells sort of like a barbecue sauce, but it doesn't stay that way. That's just what hits me initially. We're going to try it and see. Oh, Lord. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but this thing has a terrible that is rubbish. That's a poor job. Very poor job, L&L. I poured out, I don't know, a good bit of the bottle there because of that terrible restrictor there. Very, very poor job. Do not put that sort of restrictor on bottles. Now, I guess maybe some of that is on me. I probably should have checked. But that thing is just too... When I poured it, it was up to the neck practically before I started, and I poured that much out, and it went in the sink and all over the floor. That's a poor job. do not produce, and this is advice to soap makers, people who make aftershaves, get a decent restrictor. That does not cut it. That doesn't do anything. It might as well be wide open. That's poor. As to the scent, it's okay if you like it. It's unique. And look, I got stuff all over the leg. Terrible. I'm just not having a great day. Let's see if I can wipe that off. This Aftershave, by the way, has some nice ingredients in it. It really does. Aloe. What else? Sea buckthorn, fruit extract. It's got some good stuff in it. From the perspective of maybe feeling good on your skin, I think it would probably be pretty good. The scent, not everybody's going to like this, and I'm not sure I do. It is heavily mentholated as well. I'm getting some nice cooling, but that restrictor, that kills it. That is a poor job on that restrictor, just garbage. All right, well, I guess we've said enough about this. I think it's a good quality aftershave in terms of the quality, but that restrictor just kills it. It's foolishness. Okay, thanks everybody for joining me once again. I hope you will join me again next time. Until then, let's make the entire world shave great once again.